the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Here.
Debbie Davis.
Here.
Daniel Deal. Dewey Estimate.
Here.
Mark Evans. Jeremy Kinsey. John Pittenger.
Here.
Samantha Trantham. Here. And James Whitty.
Here. First is approval of minutes from previous meeting.
Motion to approve unapproved minutes.
Got a motion by John Hoyt, second by Samantha. Any discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Dewey Estimate.
Yes.
John Pittenger.
Yes.
Samantha Trantham. Yes. And James Whitty.
Yes. Next is approval of reports of office.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion by John, second by Samantha. Any discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Dewey Estimate. John Pittenger.
Yes.
Samantha Trantham. Yes. And James Whitty.
Yes. Next is approval of notaries. We got 4. We have Nancy Worley from Turtletown. I don't see the employers.
I think she is.
I don't guess it matters. Brittany Allen, also from Turtletown. Her employer is United Community Bank. Aaron Hood, his employer is Volunteer Injuries, Memphis, Tennessee. Marika Silvers, her employer is the Surgery Center. She is from Calhoun, Tennessee. And I believe there's 4, right? Yep, that's the 4 notaries.
Motion to approve all 4.
Second.
Motion by John, second by Samantha. Any discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Dewey Estimate.
Yes.
John Pittenger.
Yes.
Samantha Trantham. Yes. And James Whitty.
Yes. We're gonna move number 4. We'll put it at the end of the meeting, it's budget amendments, and some of them's gonna be pending outcome of some more stuff on the agenda. So we'll put the budget amendments at the bottom, and we'll go on to number 5. It's the VEC Twin Lakes Broadband Resolution for adoption. John Hoyt.
I had put that on here, time frame wise, we've been talking about the broadband opportunity, and I put it on here. I know there's some other interests that have come up as well. I believe Mr. Hood is here tonight. Aaron, are you here? Would y'all like to please speak on the VEC request on this broadband?
We've got our President and CEO, Roddy Blevins.
Appreciate the opportunity to address y'all tonight. We want to talk to you about an opportunity we've got here for the county. I just want to hand out some maps to give you an idea of what we're talking about in Polk County. Just to give you a little background, Volunteer Energy Co-op, we started about 3.5 years ago with a little pilot project in Bradley County to do broadband. This is probably the biggest request we get from our members across our whole system. Of course, VEC, we serve 17 counties in East Tennessee, and we're working with 8 of the counties on this project. We've hooked up about 1,500 fiber customers across our system so far in the last 2 years or so, hooking up people in about 4 different counties. The state of Tennessee has gotten a pretty good chunk of CARES money, COVID funding from the federal government, and the governor decided to allocate about $400 million trying to get broadband to all the rural county areas with this COVID funding that they've got. So they're going to open up a grant window in January. VEC, what you see on these maps, kind of help explain a little bit. the blue areas are areas that the FCC, the federal government, says don't have service or underserved at slow broadband speed. So what the state, the way they work their program, you can only apply for areas that are either unserved or underserved. So what we've done, we've tried to look at the areas in Polk County that we think would meet the state requirements for getting grant funding. The way this grant funding works, it's a 70% match from the state of Tennessee, and then we're asking the counties each to put in 10%, and VEC is looking to put in 20% match on the funds. What you see outlined there in those green areas is a $10,678,000 project. That's what we've estimated to serve fiber to those areas. I'm sure y'all probably heard a lot about it, get a lot of calls from people in your area, but that's the number one request we get at VEC for the last 2 or 3 years is when can we get broadband to your area? So that's what we've been working on for the last 2 or 3 years. We've been successful with the state the last couple of years and got some smaller grants from them to do areas in, like I said, about 3 or 4 counties, areas we started in. And now we're trying to expand out into 8 different counties across our system with this grant. The total of the whole project for all 8 counties we're looking at is almost $80 million that we're going to be applying to the state to help with grant funding to start moving in those counties. This is by far the biggest opportunity we've had really since this rural broadband funding started. First couple of years the state did $10 million and $15 million, and like I said, this year they're doing $400 million. So this is the big chance for all these counties that we serve for us to start getting fiber to the home in these counties. If we miss this opportunity, then I don't know when there'll be another opportunity of this size ever come along again. Because I said they've got this federal money that probably won't come along again. So the way the grant process works, they assign you points based on your grant, how good your grant application is, how many people you're going to serve. One of the things they look at with the grant application is, do you have participation from the local government? Does the local community involved, do they want to participate? And that's where this 10% that we're talking about, that we'd like to see the Polk County be able to contribute. That's $1,067,000. That helps the grant process a lot. The state will look for some reason to, award counties, and even with their $400 million, they won't have enough funds to do the whole state, like they would like to do. So anyway, the more points you have on your grant process, obviously the better chance you have of winning the grant for that county. So that's why it's important that we get local government participation in it, because they award a lot more points to your grant, so there's a lot higher chance of your county getting a grant award if the local county participates. So this is something we see as a major item for all of our members. We kind of look at it when VEC started putting electricity in counties 85 years ago. This is kind of what we see we're doing now, trying to get broadband to people today. It's getting to be that important to everybody. As y'all know, with COVID, a lot of kids stay at home. Education is important, healthcare is important, working from home businesses is important. One of the things, of course, we serve a lot of rural counties, and we see even the real estate now. If you don't have broadband in areas, people are hesitant to buy homes in those areas if they don't have broadband, high-speed internet. So we think it's a very, very important project for Polk County and all the counties we serve, and this is our major effort to try to get fiber to the home going here in Polk County. Some of these areas you see in the green, I'm not sure when they'll ever get service if we're not successful this time around on these grant processes. But that's kind of where we are. Our VEC board, they're behind us 100% on this project. We've talked a lot of other counties. Many counties already voted to do it unanimously. Bradley County's ready to do it. Hamilton County's ready to do it. Meigs County's ready to do it. So, the counties are very excited about us trying to get fiber to these rural areas. They don't have it today, and not sure when they'll get it if we're not successful with these projects. So anyway,
And I'm very open-minded to this. I'm very interested in it. I live in the south end of the county, which is not covered with this map. Okay, and when people call me and I explain it to them, they say, we don't agree with that much money being spent such a small area, okay? And my explanation is, we gotta start somewhere, and this is first step in getting it to y'all later, you know, but they sort of understand, you know, in the way they do, the way they don't, but anyway. Okay, this other, company that came to us, I mean, we've not vetted them yet, we're in the process of it, but, and when the paper come out today, they was storing the paper about the other company, well, people start calling me from the south end. Okay, now, if they check out, and what they told us is accurate, they're saying they're gonna provide coverage to 80% of the county for half of this cost, alright? And it's the same speed as y'all are offering, the internet. How do I explain that when the people ask me why we wouldn't vote for the other company? Because it's half the cost and it's more coverage area. I'm just asking a question.
I assume is that a satellite or fixed wireless type application, I guess?
It's a net type wireless. Mr. You can probably explain that.
It's a mesh system that they're using throughout West Virginia.
Well, you know, fiber to the home, I mean, you can't beat that. Speed wise, you know, we're offering 1 gigabyte service right now, and soon start offering 10 gigabyte service. So I'm not sure that any of the mesh systems can match that. You know, I'm not that familiar with their technology. You know, security wise, we think fiber to the home is always going to be superior because the direct connection to your home, you don't have to worry about somebody trying to get into your signal or something like that. There's obviously advantages over fiber. We feel like the fiber is going to be, that's what everybody wants, fiber to the home.
Well, I guess what we may run into, and I'll be first to admit, that sounded too good to be true. And a lot of times when something sounds good, but too good to be true, it is. But if we do vet these people, and they all check out, where does that put us?
Well, most likely, you know, Polk County won't get the grant if the county doesn't participate, just because the way the state allocates the points for the grant. So, you know, I can't guarantee one way or the other, because it's a state decision, what we're doing here. You know, what we're asking for is just commitment from the county that if we get the state grant, you know, y'all will contribute 10%. If we don't get the state grant, then, you know, we're not gonna move ahead with this right now, it'll be later. To answer your question about other parts of the county, you know, we eventually plan to serve, you know, most of the county, but we've got to get services going and get.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I've
going.
explained, because
Yeah.
I'm on board with it. I've talked to Aaron several times about it, and I appreciate what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, the only complaints I get is too much money gets spent in one area, and I explain to these people, well, this is a start, and this is, you know, step one if you get broadband in your area.
Exactly.
And then, you know, when this other company comes along, that's gonna offer it up front for half the cost. I mean, I've got to be able to explain that, you know, we're held accountable.
Right.
And I'm just, you know, I'm not questioning you at all,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
telling you our situation.
Oh, sure, I understand. You know, one of the things about, you know, the college, you know, keep in mind, it's like I said, over a $10 million project for the county.
Right.
You know, the county part's 10% of that, so, you know, $1 million is still a lot of money, but when you look at it overall, you know, $10 million project coming to the county, so, you know, that's a big boost in itself. But like I said, I just don't see any technology at this point beating fiber to the home, you know, now and in the future either. I think that's always gonna be the best technology that's out there. The speeds will always be increasing.
Could I ask a question?
You're going to, so go ahead.
I am. Tuesday night, Old Court Communications was here with their presentation, and like you said, it sounded impressive. It was either impressive or a lot of snake oil. And you're talking about working off the pole fiber, right?
Yes.
Okay, you've got the fiber optic available, right? It's on the pole, it's on your.
No, not yet. It's not there yet. That's what this project is, for us to install the fiber on the pole.
Do you have any fiber optic on the pole radio, or you gonna have to do all of it?
If this here, about 95%, we've got fiber run down to our office and to our substation, but we don't have any fiber run anywhere else in Polk County.
And if I'm not mistaken, Old Court Communication, they said they had 1 gig max, right?
Yes, that's what they're proposing. They can go up. I mean, they said they were gonna pump in 80 gig to make sure everybody got the right signal.
And I'm talking about 1 gig available. That's what they said on
Yeah.
Tuesday night. You said 10, correct?
We're going up to 10. We have 1 gig right now, and then later this year, well, first next year, we'll all be offering 10 gigabyte.
Their maximum package was what, $69.95 a month?
Like I said, 49, 59, and 69.
Yeah.
I believe.
What's,
That's Twin
what,
Lakes.
Yeah.
what would the-
64 and 79.
what would the citizens of Polk County, what would their rate be on this package?
What he just said, the Twin Lakes, we're partnered with Twin Lakes Telephone Cooperative, and it's, 79 on 1 gig and 65 on the 500 megabyte.
I had one
And
for
49 for the people the other day.
basically the same prices on whatever you bought. But, see, that's what I'm saying. That sounded just
But the
too
other
good.
one, does it come
Worth
through,
checking into, I guess, I don't know.
the other one, is it like coming in through satellite? So if it rains heavy, are they gonna have internet?
The way it sounded was wireless.
Yeah, he
So
said
if it
would.
rains, it's not gonna work.
That's what I'm
He
getting
said
at.
it
I
would.
mean, you take a hard cable, it's gonna carry you through.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
Something
rains. We got
rains
issues
at my
too,
house
so I mean, we don't
and
need
my cable
but
goes out, though. So don't tell me that rain don't knock cable in.
I can.
Do what?
I said, when it rains sometimes, my Comcast cable goes out.
You might wanna get it checked.
You must have a bad connection.
But they're proposing 3 ways to get the signal in here.
But there is an issue that's come up.
My pole don't ever go out, the one I got climbed to talk to, it's there all the time,
It's a minor,
department,
it's a minor issue, depending on how you wanna look at it.
We have batteries.
I went home the other night after the meeting, and I'll have to admit, and I done told Rob, I hadn't told you, but I'll tell you now, because I've told you several, that I was impressed the other night. When I left here, I was impressed with Array Communications presentation that Rob brought to me. The problem was I went home and looked up Array Communications. No, couldn't find it. Well, so you look for it too. So I called Robbie the next day. I said, Robbie, I can't find a footprint anywhere for this communications company, and he gave me another name that was on the card, and I called him and finally I got a hold of Mr. Allen. And talking to him today, at least at 10:40, that company, the two that were here the other night are not a company. They're turning their business application in either today or tomorrow. They're turning it. And that building, according to what he told me, if I understood right, is not owned by them at this time, but they are in the process of purchasing. And when I asked about assets, the conversation went dark. I'm
But he
assuming-
made the impression they owned all that.
I took it that way as well, but I don't know, the project's 1.2 million on what they're talking about, they're 570,000.
572,000.
Okay, when I started talking about assets, they asked me what our assets were, and I told taxation, 3.1 on farm and, county properties. I never did get a answer on assets.
I feel like this is like huge now.
So, no, they very specifically said it wasn't used
Yeah.
So, I guess what I'm saying is, there is an issue that the company that was here the other day is not a company yet.
And who's behind those folks?
The two that were here are
Go a little
creating
deeper. You're gonna be surprised.
I'll leave that to you, Jack. But that is something to keep in mind. I don't wanna see us look forward to something and it not come through and then take a chance on losing what's a very fast internet.
And neither do I. However, they are forming a new company. They have I'm extremely skeptical too. That's why I went down there in person to visit them and go through their building and look and see what they have.
And you knew that they didn't own the building the other night?
But they stood there 2 nights
I mean,
ago,
did you know
told
the
us
other night when they were
owned
here that
that, and
they-
they supplied the broadband for Chattanooga and 70% of the area.
Well, that building does.
No, they
So
said
are
they
they-
did.
and that's where it gets kind of, I mean, well, it could be,
It's a little fuzzy, they didn't just really say it in
it
exact
wasn't real
words.
clear that they weren't a
That they-
company and that they did not own that building to
Yeah.
me as a committee member.
This
I don't know, Mr. Pierce, did you know they didn't own
to
it?
find out who's really behind it.
I will investigate it.
I mean, did you know that they didn't own the building?
No.
Or
Well, he told me today they did, but they are purchasing.
Well, there's too many loose ends. I think Volunteer Energy is about as reputable and most trustworthy companies we could ever deal with. That's my.
Their assets are in place, that's for
I mean,
sure.
that's a given. On the other hand, if we could wait 1 month and
We've got all the way to
confirm
March.
our suspicions about the other, I would just hate not to check into them and then being 100% truthful and us spending double the money, we didn't have to. But if we could have a month to,
Yeah, I mean, we've got.
if we could table it for 1 month.
We're trying to get all of our stuff ready here in about a month. You know, of course, he's talking about, we've got the March, we plan on putting our grant application in April, January. That gives the state time, if they see any concerns with our application, they'll come back to us and we can modify it before the end of the period.
So
If we wait till the end of the period to submit it, and if there's anything wrong with it, it could get tossed out without us having a chance to correct it.
So if y'all get a commitment from us by the December meeting, will that be
Yeah, that'd be great.
sufficient timeline?
Yeah, that'd be great for us.
Is everybody good with tabling this month?
I think you need to talk to somebody who has this internet and ask them if it goes out, if it won't.
No, this internet,
They
this
don't
doesn't exist yet,
Yeah.
but it will, but
So
it
how
does
do we know
not.
if it's not gonna go?
We're gonna make the laboratory that.
We're the laboratory.
See if it works good.
That's why I asked the question about the assets, and I'm afraid.
For a good price.
Anyway, can y'all manage the 1 month wait?
Yeah.
Because I don't wanna push it to a vote, not because I don't think votes are here.
No, that's fine with us, I mean, take the time, we gotta do due diligence and check into it, that's fine with us. You know, we just wanna work with the county however we can, and I'll be honest with you, I don't see another opportunity like this coming down.
Oh,
the
I
pipe.
agree, I just.
You know, it's just a huge opportunity that we've got from the state right now, we just don't want any county to miss out on it that we serve.
Could you come to the December meeting there? It'd be in Ducktown, but that'd be all right, you go come to.
But, the other counties, they're jumping on board as fast as they can, it's such a huge opportunity, and right now, we're hooking up people as fast as we can hook them up, we've got about a 4 to 5 week waiting period, and like I said, we're hooking up people as fast as we can, so.
Well, one question I did have for them that made me a little, I ain't gonna say suspicious, but threw up a flag. You know, where they been all this time? You know, we've needed this for years. They show up after, you know, there's interest generated in Volunteer Energy grant. So, but at the same time, you can see as a commissioner, we think it's at least ruling them out, for sure, looking into, if that's all right.
No.
Well, we appreciate you coming all the way up here tonight.
Sure. Like I said, we're here, and if you got any other questions, you know, just let Aaron or Dave know, we'll try to get them answered, but like I said, we're just trying to work with the county and help our members here the best we can, so.
I would like to say something on Mr. Hood and Mr. Mylan. Any questions that's come up, they've been very forthcoming with information. Anything I've asked about has been answered or checked in on and an answer returned.
Yeah,
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Well, like I said, if anything we can help you with, or any questions or anything, or any other numbers, Robert, he knows how to get hold of us too, so just let us know, and like I said, we'll try to work with you any way we can. So, thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I thought you'd done that executive. I'll make a motion to, table VEC vote 1 month. Yeah, I don't see it that way around. I'll make a motion to table it for 1 month, to the December agenda.
Second.
Got a motion by John, second by Debbie, any discussion? Roll call.
Ray Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Jerry Estimate.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trentham.
Yes.
And John Fleet.
Yes. Next is employee bonuses, Commissioner Pierce.
I'll turn off to Brooks, me and you've been in some good ones through the years.
Yeah, veterans.
We've been through some, yeah, but I've never heard a gripe and complaining and finger pointing as I have since I put this on the agenda and put it off a month. I'll never put it off a month again.
Oh, last month?
Yeah. It's been fun, especially the last 2 days.
That was sort of stupid of you anyway.
But since we have it on the agenda, there is a resolution to do a bonus, Christmas bonus. Wouldn't call them bonuses, right? This is not art. This is out of the county coffers. Christmas bonus for the amount of 1,000. Everybody know how much it is? I wrote it. 1,300. Anyway, bottom line, you bring home $1,000 right at it. After taxes, insurance, and everything's taken out. $1,360. It also changes if you've not been here a full year, but you're full-time. It changes if you are full-time and not been here a year, and if you are part-time and not been here a year. There's four
Same way you
categories.
live a year.
Yeah. And this year does include 101, 116, and 131, which is county general, sanitation, and road department. And if somebody could read that thing.
Resolution 11-121. Whereas the governing body of Polk County, Tennessee sees the need to improve the economic conditions for its employers, and whereas the legislative body of Polk County is aware that it has not increased salary levels in the form of regular pay increases in the past few years, and whereas it is desired to give such incentive in the form of a one-time bonus this current fiscal year. Now therefore be it resolved by the Polk County Commission meeting in regular session at the Polk County Courthouse in Benton, Tennessee, this 18th day of November 2021, that any full-time employee obtaining 1 year of consecutive work time or more shall receive a bonus of $1,360, and any part-time employees of the same attributed time shall receive a bonus of $680. Any full-time employee who has worked less than 1 year of consecutive work time shall receive a bonus of $680, and any part-time employee with the same attributed time shall receive a bonus of $340. Only workers who are employed as of November the 1st, 2021 shall be entitled to this bonus, and only employees who have built their time under the County General Fund 101, 116, and Road Department Fund 131 are eligible. Funds will be available to employees only after written acknowledgement from department head of notice that this is a non-repeating authorization one-time bonus to workers.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Dewey, second by John Hoyt. Any discussion?
One thing that needs to be pointed out this year is more specific on it pointing out to be a one-time money. There is some considerations, especially after we budgeted it last year, actually put it in the fiscal budget, and then we'll come back and done it this way, that there will be a letter that which it states that there, the office holder has to sign it, acknowledging before the payment comes to the department that it is authorized one time as a one-time bonus. And why that wording, I have no idea.
I'll just be honest with you, I don't agree with all of it, but most of these people do need it, so. I'm not sure who was over that, but.
I blame Brooks.
Blame me for what?
Anything.
Put the road department in there?
Oh, I mean, I just blame you for anything, Brooks.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Dewey Estimate.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Franklin.
Yes.
And James Woody.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna address something right quick that has to do with these bonuses. I'm gonna address the rumor John Holt was talking about. As a county commissioner, if it's something we done on the record or voted on, and somebody don't agree with it, I fully take my butt chewing. I don't care. I deserve it. I asked for that when I asked for this job. If it's something that we actually done. Now, back to the rumors. A huge pet peeve of mine is when somebody just pulls something out of there that is absolutely not factual, not legal, could have happened, impossible it could have happened. So, we worked real hard on these bonuses, and include the road department. And I mean, 99%, I still don't know who it is, 99% of our road department is hard working, honest people, and we appreciate you, and we're letting y'all know through this bonus. We appreciate everything y'all do. But, like any bushel of apples, one of them's always gonna have a bad one. We were told repeatedly, and any of y'all that discussed it, I don't blame you. If I worked there, and I heard the rumor that I was gonna be left out of the bonus, and other employees in the county had already got it, I'd be the first one to start discussing it, if that's where I worked, at the road department. So anybody that's discussing it, I don't blame y'all at all. But, it had to start somewhere. Somebody had to say it the first time. You know, that the road, we were told that an employee of the road department was going around, basically stuck on stupid and saying that the county employees had done received their bonus last week and they were left out. Alright. That being said, if any employee of the road department wants to come to us in private between tomorrow and Sunday when payroll's done, I promise you we'll do everything legally in our powers, or I will, to take that one person's bonus and split it up between the rest of us. If y'all want to come forward with who started that rumor, I'll do whatever to make it happen. And all I'm told, I get the same story. It was a road department employee, and if one of y'all or two of y'all want to help prove that to me in private, no names mentioned, we will take that one person's bonus and split it up between the rest of the party. And they're also, somebody said, and if it's an employee, they also violated the Employee Payroll Privacy Protection Act with this discussion. So I think everybody's got my phone number and knows how to get it. So if anybody wants to talk to me between now and Monday morning, feel free to call. Thanks for the job y'all do, everybody. We hope and see, we appreciate you a little bit with these bonuses.
I also think we need to add about our Facebook. If this would have been at my job, because I work in healthcare, if I was to talk about my people on Facebook, I'd be wrote up or I wouldn't have a job. Some of those comments on Facebook are absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I don't know who it was. I mean, I hunt and fish around somebody. It might be somebody I know.
We have a handbook that says social media policy. Where we go through and we read it and we sign our handbook. Because if I'd have said anything like some of the comments that I've read on Facebook, I wouldn't have a job.
Where's ours at?
Your handbook?
Yeah.
Steve Ross has it.
I know
Look it up.
there ain't nothing on there but social policy.
There should be.
But there ain't.
Because the way that you guys talk about your county is absolutely ridiculous.
You talking about me?
There's been a lot of comments on there. Not just you.
Okay, what I put?
I don't
Y'all
know
matter
how
what I
to
put on
track.
what we got
I have
posted?
blocked everybody, so I
This
don't have
wasn't
to
about
read
the
it.
sheriff's office. Well, it was.
I didn't address you,
Employee.
Logan. You addressed me. I said this as a whole. So if we were gonna make it like that, we can.
Okay.
So
You wanna make it as a whole, or you
what
wanna
I
make it
said
single, which one?
is there should be a social media policy where you don't talk about your county like that. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
We got something. Can I ask a question?
Guess not.
Is the health department, is it, the county employees, is it included with that Christmas bonus?
I thought that come out of
And the reason is because it was explained to me that y'all could not be included, or did not get them. Robbie, you took the first call on that last.
It was conveyed to me by the state health department that if the county employees did not accept that bonus, that you all would receive the state raise like the state employees get every year. So
I can tell you that that doesn't apply to, like, the county employees.
That's what they had sent to us last year when we done this bonus.
I was under the impression that that comes out of the general fund. Does this come out of?
This does, yes.
I thought we done it last year and you was in it. I just assumed the health department's in
The
one.
last time that I received a Christmas bonus as a county employee was the first year Robbie went into office.
it was
That's
year
the last
before
time I
last.
received one as a county employee.
It was the year before, yes, health department.
And what's changed since then that we can't?
the state health department said that they didn't think that it was right because our county employees work side by side with the state employee. The state gives raises, and so it would be more beneficial for that employee to have that raise that came throughout the year instead of just a bonus. And so that was presented to me as such, and outside of the night, I never knew this was going on, and I'll take care of that on my end and contact them. But that was the way it was conveyed to me, because that way our county employees were supposed to receive the same raise that the state employees receive whenever they work side by side each other.
Hey Robbie, can I clarify that? It's not that they don't get one, but we don't get a raise every year.
But like I said, that was the way it was conveyed to me. It puts everybody on that same pay scale, so that way if the state receives a raise that year, and if the county did not give a bonus, you all work side by side each other, and that way everybody was contributed to the same and fair. But like I said, and I did not know that, but I'll take care of that on my end.
And I'll get with Robbie here and see if we need to make any adjustments, or any adjustments on that too.
But I do want to make it clear that it's not that they don't get a bonus. It's just that we may not get a bonus, a raise. We may not get a raise every year. And I just feel like it's for our county people. You know, they don't have the same benefits that state employees do.
But you all said that they did not.
You don't get one every year.
A raise.
A raise every year. You're not guaranteed one.
Anyway, because there's a lot of different, but I will check on mine, and I just want to make sure that I heard that they did not.
It's not that they do not get one, it's that they're not guaranteed a raise every year. It just depends on when the state gives a raise.
See why these bonus resolutions are so much fun. So I'll get with Robbie next couple of weeks, and me and him will try to.
Did the state give a raise this year?
We got one based off of our IPPs from the previous year because of COVID.
And are you usually giving what, starting July 1st?
Yes.
They didn't, Catrice might can answer that a little bit better, because it was kind of like a two-step process. It was like a certain percentage here and then a certain percentage at a later date.
The last state raise they gave retroactive, halfway through their fiscal year.
Correct. And they, but like I said,
Any more on that for now? Next is Ocoee Fire Hall concrete, Commissioner Fisher.
I just want to make everybody's day today. I apologize. Listen, I hope the raise comes out in a timely manner and y'all do get to enjoy it. I've just heard enough on the raises to fill me for a while. But the concrete sucks. I'm gonna say it again. That concrete, we should have never paid for it. We did. I understand that and understand why. That concrete is rough. That concrete into the drain has raises in the concrete that the water can't go into the drain. And I don't know if we can pay in protest or not, because I've never checked into it, but we might want to look at that for future jobs. But we need to be cautious on utilizing that vendor for other county jobs. And I don't know that we don't need to try. Robbie, have you tried to see if there's any avenues to get that concrete straightened out? Because there's, what, a 3-inch, 2 1/4 inch, 3-inch gap in the doors going across the front in the span.
There's 4 in place.
4
in place.
Okay, there is a substantial gap in the doors where they come down. Them doors are straight. They're plumb, but there's gaps at the bottom where they come to the concrete. Water will blow in, and there's no way to seal out there.
Did the outfit that had it on here for a broom finish, were they the ones that got it?
broom finish.
I do what?
That's all short term, that's
You can't even speak it, you can't even wash it.
So what was the resolution to this for?
There's no resolution, I just,
No, not a resolution, what do you think the resolution should be?
I'd asked the county executive to see if, what,
You want the building committee to meet with him down there?
I have spoken with another vendor about, the possibility of resurface. And I told him that it was my understanding from the commission that you all were worried because of the amount of weight that would be going across that concrete for resurfacing. He has said that he would like to meet with the building committee and show you all what he would propose to do as far as a resurface for that job. This is not the vendor that done that concrete. Also, if you look at the fire hall, there is a pile of concrete, and it's my understanding that the east side door, whenever they went to pour it, that the concrete got away from them, that they had to bust that up and
they've already
But
replaced.
what happened, when the truck got there, it wouldn't fit under the door, and they had to wait a couple hours on the skid steer to get there. In my opinion, they should have realized that when they bid, they should have checked the door. But the contractor did eat the concrete, I mean, he paid for that little bit out of his pocket, so that's all good, that part is.
And with talking to the concrete company, there was a lot of water at it with the driver.
Well, I was told, does anybody here know anything about concrete? Roy Jean, you do, don't you?
Look at me.
No, I mean, we were told that, not him, but you can take a concrete grinder and grind down about an inch to make it as level as possible.
You said there's a lot of.
Anybody ever heard of one of them? A concrete grinder?
What, to re-pour it, to resurface it?
They say there's like a concrete grinder that will grind existing concrete in places
Yeah.
to make, it'll improve it anyway.
Well, I know that, yeah, when our shop burnt that time, we got a concrete grinder to come in there and grind off where it'd been burned. And we ground it all off and we re-poured it on the top of it.
We was worried about how
high.
thin those
And it's-
report because of the weight of the truck.
Yeah, of course, now, we've had 10 ton on ours, but still, it might be not a fire truck, I don't know what they weigh.
Like I said, that was the suggestion, because I did tell this vendor that from the talk of some of the U.S. commissioners has been to dig it up and do it again. And this vendor said that he would really like to meet down there and see this option before you all look at having it busted up and redone.
Well, now busting it up and redone, it's gonna be
Expensive.
Big one.
much more
And-
expensive
and-
than just the original pour.
Correct.
Okay, so let me get this straight now, this fella that screwed all this up is not gonna be liable for nothing.
Well,
Correct, am I getting this right?
We don't know.
I make the request that the county executive check on our legal avenues on the current pour to see if we can recoup any of the imperfections done, and that we proceed to meet with the new vendor who is going to look with the building committee about fixing what's done.
John Hope could also ask if legal action that I could get.
And authorize any legal action that needs to be taken to.
Wouldn't it be better to give the one that put it down the opportunity to make it right before you do that?
I think he done has had the option, hasn't he?
If you really wanted to.
Well,
The contractor, you file it on his contractor license.
do what?
If he's a licensed contractor, you can file it on his contractor's license.
Well, like I said,
He's gotta be bonded, hasn't he, to get a county
not
contract?
necessarily.
But I will.
But that is the motion. Give Robbie the legal.
I think, what is the law in Tennessee? It's under $25,000, you don't have to have a contractor's license.
Something like that.
Anything over 25,000 is required, I think.
I thought to get a government contract, you had to be bonded.
That may be different on, that like a federal government, it may be different for the county. But that all on that, John Horton?
Yeah, that's the motion,
The,
or recommendation. Motion, it's motion.
any more discussion? Motion by John Horton, second by Judy. Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Dewey Estimate.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trentham. Yes. And James Whitting.
No.
Bob yes, one no.
Okay, show barn concrete bids.
According to the Building and Grounds Committee, you all want to be out there on, was it Monday or Tuesday?
Monday, about 5 if we can. You
Daylight.
come Monday at 5, so it'll be daylight then. John Horton, you come Monday at 5?
Sure.
So we'll meet Monday at 5 and look. The prices are probably fair, it's just more than we want to spend. And we're gonna look and see if there's something we make and take off for now, something that's not at excess, but more than what we need. So we'll meet Monday and try to identify some areas for some savings and, ask County Executive Hatcher to rebid.
Robbie, curious, could you possibly send us a copy of the original RFP on it, so we can look at it? Have you got it with you? We'll look at that before we try to adjust.
Yes, there was also one, along with all the bids.
John Horton.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Next is, building permits, Commissioner Davis.
I'm not gonna take much time because, I've still not got no direct answer from CTAS on whether we will be allowed to go up. My proposal is, we've got a flat rate right now of $25, which is extremely low. And I'm not into costing people more money, that's not what this is all about. It's just a way to maybe get a little bit of money in our pocket to, even if we like designate it to sanitation, and get it from people that may have a little money. If you're building, you've got a little money or you wouldn't be building. And $100 more is usually not going to stop somebody from building a house or putting in a power pole for a mobile home or putting in for a well. It's just, it's usually not going to stop it. But the problem is, for some crazy reason, we can't get a direct answer from CTAS if it is allowed without zoning. Yeah, and which that's out. So if that's the case, then we'll leave it like it is. We'll just, nothing will be changed. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at, and down here, Meigs County has a $100 flat rate with no building inspectors. Meigs County has $150. Their cost is $150, and of course Bradley County, it's on a whole different ball game. And so it's everything, but those two there is kind of halfway in line with us. But but do what? Well, I never did get the answer on Meigs, if they're zoned or not, and they could be. And you may have to be. You may have to be zoned for the county to have the authority to raise it. I don't know why that's such a complicated question that CTAS can't answer it. I don't get it either. But anyway, I just like I say, it's just a proposal for everybody to be thinking about, and then hopefully maybe before next month, CTAS maybe will have us an answer.
Well, if we can do it without zoning, I'm all in.
Oh, yeah,
On the
zoning's
record,
out.
I'm 100% against
Yeah.
any, it's just more government.
Exactly.
intrusion.
No zoning and no building inspectors, you know, so, like I said, this is just something that if we can do it without keeping everything the way it is, where we're our own little people, then we we'll look into that if everybody was to pass it. And if not, then it don't pass and go forward, but it's just like I say, it's just a way, it would probably raise us around, give or take 20,000 a year. So, anyway.
So we're gonna wait to hear,
Yeah,
get this
yeah.
back on the agenda next month?
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and put it back on next month. Is that it on that, David?
Yeah, that's it.
Next is, Ducktown Courthouse, Commissioner Chambers.
I want to look into what is wrong with the roof and stuff while we have COVID money to fix it, because it's in very bad shape up there. That way we actually have a place to keep having court. The building is terrible. So while we got money, I would like to see actually what's wrong with it, since it is our county building. I don't know who would really be overseeing what's wrong with it, but I know that they said some places it's leaking.
You want the building committee to meet before December meeting?
Yeah,
Meet up there and look at it?
Yeah, because it's in pretty bad shape.
If you all remember, it wasn't long after everybody came into office, I think we talked about with the land that Judge Belials give to the county. At that time, we did not have our ID. And I know it's Judge Belials' request, and I have everything here, the resolution was passed, where he wants that land sold, and then the money put back into the restoration or the rebuilding of the Ducktown Courthouse. So, and a lot of people had the idea that we would just take and try to real estate sell or individual sell the land. Well, we can't do that as a county. But I would ask you as a commission to now look, since you do have the ID board, and see if the ID board would be willing to take that up and to look to do either a private sale, because they can't. You as a commission, you can't. But the money would go back in according to the resolution, strictly for the revamping, rebuilding, or a new building of the Ducktown Courthouse.
I'd still like to look at it since we do have money, because what if it don't sell? The building is in terrible shape. And that's really all we got up there besides the community center.
And I've also, one of the other issues with that land is that there was no access off 64. So I have talked to Dan, State Rep Powell, as far as seeing if TDOT would issue a way to egress and ingress off of Highway 64. Because if not, what's the road down? You have to go down below 64. I can't remember the name of the road. There's a small road that's an access road back down in on that property. That's the only easement into that property. And it's 30 some odd acres. So, if you as a commission want to look at doing that, get a survey done, have some of those things, that's 30 some odd acres that the county has owned for a while.
Well, and right now, it's selling better than it's sold in 152 years. So why would we not, if it's gonna be a possibility, why would we not jump on it now and see if it
My thing is,
so.
if it don't sell, how we gonna fix it? There is ways around it that we can have it fixed.
Yeah.
Without us even voting on it.
Or how's it gonna sell if it's not fixed? Look at both ways.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could look into it, and if it does sell, have it wrote up, say, if we did take it out of our art money, then it fall back into
that fund.
To us, whatever. Yeah, because it's in terrible shape. You sit up there for a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, for a long time.
Bad, ain't it?
Since 1990, so when we got our new office.
It's gross.
Oh,
It's gross.
And Jan, one time, whenever she had the ladies up there not long after, sent me probably a 45-second video of a 4-inch pipe that ran for 15-20 minutes where we just stopped up. Leaves that fell in, because it's a flat roof with PVC that runs off, and it is. But like I said, that's just a possibility, you know, if you have a commission, if you wanted to look to sell that land that Judge Blau did give the county, and go forward with it.
One thing that Chairman, y'all are probably too young, maybe a few of you remember, you don't wanna stir up the hornets in that courthouse. Because they tried that back in the late eighties and early nineties, and there were two, maybe three politicians here went to jail. One of them was a general sessions judge, and, you know, that is our court of, you know, of law. That's the eastern, you know, it has to stay or be replaced.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't heard nothing about closing.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, it's terrible.
It
I mean,
is.
if you don't do something, it's gone.
Well, with the
I don't know
building
when
committee,
when was the last time it was really clean, like deep clean?
If we clean it, the jail does, all the time,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And we do the, maintenance on it, replace lights and everything.
It's
How bad's that
rough, isn't it?
roof on it? Is it
Oh, it's
bad?
bad.
It's
Yeah.
rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
well, the building committee will meet between now and before the December meeting. I'll just get with everybody and see when they can, since Costa Rica for Ducktown, and we will have a meeting. It has to be around 4:30 or 5 because of short days. We're looking for that, but we will meet between then and, so when I get with everybody, I'll let Walter know.
Yeah, I'm asking this way, a question out of the, I don't know the answer. The 30 acres of land that's available, the commission can't do it, but what has to be done to appoint somebody to sell that property to somebody?
To do a true sale, we'd have to hand the property over to IDB.
Now, I didn't know
With the
anything.
understanding that if they don't do anything with it, it's still county. In other words, it wouldn't become IDB's until they actually done the sale. And then the money would be stipulated back to that account.
Well, it's like Miss Davis, Mr. Andrews, that property is going, it's selling high.
It
I mean,
is.
it's the time.
If it's gonna be sold now, it's time to
Yeah,
go.
because when it
Yeah.
crashes on.
That-